Hello, and welcome to Centrist Politics. Today is October 30th, 2024. Happy early Halloween, everybody, and we are less than 6 days away from the next US presidential election. Sorry for not making any videos recently, my life has been quite busy, but I felt like I would make a very quick map of what I believe to be the current situation of this race. Now, to begin, let's fill out all of the safe states that are probably not going to change, and these states even include Texas. So that's not blue, sorry, red, red, red. Pretty much every single small, loosely populated but large states. So all of these states. So even Ohio, I'd say it's likely, but safe, 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 safe. Utah is safe. Alaska surprisingly shifts into likely, which is a change from my last prediction. Are there any more states? Yep, South Carolina is safe as well. Florida, I'll say likely for now. And for all of the I guess we could argue for Texas being likely as well. So there we go. Now for all of the safe Dem states. So Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, likely almost safe. The same with New Mexico. The state of Minnesota is surprisingly likely. So is Virginia. Safe, safe, likely. Maine at large, probably likely Dem. Safe, 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 and Illinois is safe as well. Now, Maine's second district is, I believe, going to go to the Republicans by a likely margin, while its first district will be safe blue. Now, for Nebraska, it is safe red, while the second district is looking like it's gonna go more in the direction of the Democratic Party, but by a lean to likely margin. And while Hawaii is safe blue, of course. Now we are left with just 7 states: Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. So these 7 have always been the crucial ones. I forgot about DC. Sorry about that. Let me just add that in. So yes, these 7 states have been the deciding factors of this election and the ones in the last decade. All of these states will probably be decided by less than 3%, less than 2% probably, in some cases under 1%, and some by probably only a couple thousand votes. It will go down to the absolute wire in these states. The current betting markets have Trump winning by a pretty substantial margin, honestly. I actually do think Harris's odds are maybe at a low 40s, while Trump's are at a high 50. This is still a very close race, and although it says that Trump has a 74% chance of winning Arizona, I do not believe that. I believe it's much lower. Georgia, maybe this is a bit more plausible, and the same with North Carolina. But let's just begin filling out this map. So even according to Real Clear Politics, Trump does have the upper hand in nearly all of the battleground states, but by very small margins. Now, he has the biggest lead in Arizona, followed closely by Georgia, while Harris leads in Michigan, followed closely by Wisconsin. So let's begin. So in order from, let's say, most red to least red. So to begin, we have the state of Georgia, which I believe will go to Trump by, I think, a lean margin. Now, Harris originally was performing very good here. There's actually a chance that the state is more red than North Carolina. Actually, a very high chance. I'd give it about a 70% chance of happening. But Georgia will shift red by 1 or 2 percentage points this election cycle. And the same goes towards Arizona, which I also believe will go lean red. Now, the next states are the states of North Carolina, and let's do Pennsylvania. So the interesting thing about North Carolina is that I do think that Harris will do better here than in Georgia, which is quite surprising considering that back in 2020, Trump won North Carolina while Biden won Georgia, although it was by a razor thin margin. So I believe Trump does take the state by about 1 point. Let me see what the betting markets think. Yeah, 72% chance and 73% chance. So about what I think. I think Trump will perform slightly better in Georgia by 0.2, 0.3, but they will be relatively and almost the exact same margin of victory for Donald Trump. Now, on to the state of Pennsylvania. Actually, I'll save this one for later considering it is the most important state. So let's move over to Nevada instead. Nevada, the polls are very, very close. Trump 0.5, but in the betting markets, Trump leads by Trump has twice as much of a chance of winning the state as Harris does. I think that's fair, actually. I'd say Nevada is actually a bit more red than people give it credit for. I do think it's lean, which is very surprising considering in my last few predictions I had it as blue. So it switches over to red, so we have that. And with that, Trump is at 268. It is so razor thin, it's not even funny at this point. It is extremely, extremely close. So all Trump has to do after flipping the states of Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia is flip one of the Rust Belt states. Now, let's begin with the state of Michigan, which I believe is Kamala Harris's best state so far. I believe she will hold on to the state by a tilt margin, the high tilt margin, almost 1%, but it will be very, very close. I believe the polls are actually slightly underestimating her. The betting markets give her a slight edge as well. So yes, I do believe that Harris wins Michigan by 0.8, 0.9%. This state will still be extremely close, but I do not think the turnout is to the extent where it was back in 2020, and the Democratic margin will certainly shrink. The same goes for Wisconsin, although I do believe that as of right now, if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's leaning more towards Trump than Harris, even if the polls say otherwise. The betting markets seem to agree as well. I mean, this state is extremely close. I think for the first time in quite a while, these states will split, which is very, very interesting. Wisconsin generally just skews kind of more conservative in general. The people there are, I think, slightly more older, slightly more white. I mean, it's just a more inherently Republican state. And for that reason, I think this will go red, while Michigan will go blue. Now, for the state of Pennsylvania, which is the last state on this map, yeah, I wasn't lying when I said this would be quick. Pennsylvania, truth be told, I believe is going to Donald Trump with, yeah, by the smallest possible margin. The polls, how much does this lead by? 0.8. That might be a bit of an overestimation. I mean, 61-39. I mean that's fair-ish, but not necessarily. I do think that the state will be extremely, extremely close. This will be the number one closest state. Either it's going to be one of the Rust Belt states that are going to be the closest. I mean, Trump has a fairly good shot of winning all of the Sun Belt states. It's the Rust Belt that's kind of confusing. Honestly, I could see Harris winning both of these states as well, but as of right now, I give Trump the slightest upper hand in these races. So with that, Trump wins 297 to 241. An extremely close election, and the closest one in quite a while, closer than 2020, 2016, 2012, 2008. Not as close as 2004, but still pretty close nonetheless. And yeah, this is my final map. Actually, my final map for today. I will do one daily up until election day, but as of right now, this is what I think. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and have a great day.